Hey guys, this is Decibels and Dialogue. I'm Corbin.
And I'm Dalen.
Today, we're going to have our first episode, and we're going to chat about some things
Ooh.
that inspired us, that brought us into the 12 volt industry, what has kept us here, how it's changed over the years, and we'll probably get into a couple different segments of a couple other categories that hopefully our listeners want to hear.
Yeah.
Um, Grab your favorite drink and sit down. If you're on a car ride, drive safe. And we really hope you guys enjoy our show.
Yeah. Blast it up. I got my MGD right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a big tall glass of water, and
Damn.
I got another water bottle set beside me in case I run out. Because the throat gets a little parched every once in a while when you're talking so much.
Of course, of course.
Not that we're not used to that, because I mean, literally all I do is talk all the time, and I'm sure people
Any
get quite
anybody
annoyed with
anybody who knows you knows that.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Me too, man. Once I get going, I'm going. Um yeah, so yeah, like we mentioned it's our first episode. Alberta boys. So I guess we're like the
Northern
first,
Alberta.
yeah, Northern Alberta boys, first Canadians to kind of get on this podcast gig. And I don't know. I felt like there was, a little gap of we just need like a fun podcast, to kind of chat about
I agree.
the not so serious side of the car audio industry, but also get into, some serious stuff every now and then,
Oh, for
right?
sure. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna talk behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
people are gonna know what we have to go through, and we got some ideas I think that are really gonna
Yeah.
shed some light on people, and hopefully it keeps them engaged. And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I mean, I got a question for you, Dalen.
Yeah, what's up?
What uh, what got you into the industry? I'd
So,
like to know that.
yeah, for sure. Well, it was kind of a fluke. So, for myself, I don't really know where it began because I'll be honest, I didn't really search this career out, if that makes sense. Like
I don't think
I
anyone, I don't think
no,
any
no.
of us in the industry
Yeah,
has.
it just kind of fell in my lap. It was like, "Oh, you can like make money doing this?" It was like, "Okay." So, I was always doing like my own car audio stuff. I mean, my dad was a big car audio guy and like just like accessories
Okay.
in general, right? So, um always like every vehicle he had, had a awesome system in it. Like, you know, that really drove my passion for it. And then, my first vehicle before I even had a license, I got a vehicle and my dad and
Necessary.
I worked on it, and yeah, it had subs in it. Just that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then, that went on to me doing my own installations, like as I got out of the house and started making big boy money and could buy my own shit and look
That first
online. And
paycheck.
yeah, that first paycheck went to
Yeah.
some more bass, went to bigger amp, blah blah blah, all the
Yeah.
basics, all the basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
And everything a teenager needs.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's kind of that's kind of what drove it. Like my dad, right? Like my dad always having like crazy high end. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. I mean crazy for what people are doing nowadays, relatively. But for me as a kid, it's like a full system, right? Deck, couple amps to run the mids and highs and the subs, right? And always something custom. Like his first one that I remember was a couple 12s and a red cab Ram. So in a
Nice.
fiberglass box paint match to the truck, right? Like
Wow.
that thing was sick, and I remember that. And I actually had those subs. He had the Pioneer W2000 SPLs, those trash can subs in
The
my first
elites?
car. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
dude.
So I had those in my first car. Yeah, on a slash 500. It was
Oh,
awesome.
beauty.
Yeah, but yeah. So then I was doing my own installs, and the shop I'm partner with now was here in Fort McMurray. I guess we didn't mention where we're at. I mean, I'm in Fort
Yeah.
McMurray, Alberta. You're in
I'm in Grand
Grand
Prairie,
Prairie,
Alberta.
Alberta. And we're that shop that I'm at now actually did some work for my dad back in the early 2000s, and it's kind of cool. Partnered with them now for the last few years, and it's been an interesting journey. I came in, and like I said, I was the guy working at the front. I got to give him a lot of props for kind of getting me into the position. His name's Corey. He's a good guy, good sales guy at the time, and when he was working with us, and he was like, "Oh, just come in," right? Because I had bought my first like DSP amplifier off him, and so I think for him that kind of like, huh, you know, DSP amplifier, like, you know what you're doing? And I'm like, not really, but I want
Nope.
it. I had no
Yeah.
idea what I was doing. I just knew that that's what I wanted to do because, it made sense to me.
Yep.
And yeah, sold me that, and I got it, and came in a few times every now and then for stuff. And one day I
You're
came
always
in, and
looking at things, I bet, as a young
yeah,
kid. Just come,
yeah,
just a window
of
shop,
course,
right?
of
Yeah,
course, yeah,
100%.
absolutely. And I it just kind of fell in my lap, right? Talked to the owner there, Sean, and
I was gonna say, yeah, was that Sean at the time?
yeah, well, yeah, Sean's had this place open since '97. So
Yep.
anybody curious, anybody listening, we're Audio Designs in Fort McMurray, and your shop is Echo AVU in Grand Prairie. And
Yep.
yeah, it was interesting. So that started out, and I started well, not mid, I think it was like middle July into July maybe in 2019.
Yep.
So professionally, only from 2019 to now, 2025.
And dude, you've learned so much in those years. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
well,
I
yeah,
remember when I first met you.
yeah, and that was like only a couple years ago now, 2023,
Yeah.
the
Well,
MSC
well, 3
symposium.
years ago, man.
Well,
That's
almost, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, crazy, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Like, a lot of influence from my dad growing up, and then obviously I just kept that passion and just never knew that it could be something you could maybe make some money doing, right? And
Yeah.
uh I mean, it's not rig money, but
No, but I always say to people like, like, oh, my buddy used to do this stuff. Oh, well, does he
mhm,
still do it? No,
yeah.
he doesn't. Ah, well, most people that don't do it
Ex-
weren't that or that did it that don't do it anymore. They obviously weren't that good at it because I mean, both of us have managed to make a career out of it. I mean, like
mhm,
like you said, you've been doing it since 2019 professionally. I mean,
yeah.
6 years. I've been doing it since 2012,
Mhm,
January 8th. I remember the
mhm,
day I got into it professionally.
mhm,
And yeah, I always keep that one in the back of my head. People always
mhm.
laugh. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's true. That's fair enough."
No, I believe that. And I think, some people just don't want to. The amount it's changed since I've even started is insane,
That's huge.
right? And it hasn't been that long. But
Yep.
anyways, before we get too far into that, for yourself, man, I want to know. I mean, you've told me, but let's let everybody else know.
Well, I mean myself, I'm from Vancouver Island, so I'm
Mm.
partially born with that A and B sound. For any of our listeners in Canada that remember A and B sound, my dad was the exact same thing as yours. He was huge into vehicle upgrades,
Oh
always
yeah.
loved doing this stuff, and my entire family's been huge into music for a very long time. And I can remember as such a young little guy just walking into those stores and looking up on those display boards, man, and seeing those old Phoenix Gold amps with the acrylic front and the LEDs and
Oh
seeing all the
yeah.
internals and like the
Yeah.
old school punch stuff and like man back then like it was crazy like
Mm.
there was multiple vehicles that are getting worked on at the same time, very similar to our shops and how we work, but
Mm-hmm.
it seemed different at that time because we didn't do it for a living. We
Mm.
were watching this kind of happen and we're like, "Oh, what's going on in there?" And you hear these vehicles for the first time and you're like, "Wow, this is huge," because obviously we've listened to music growing up, we've listened to home stereos, but there's
Mm-hmm.
some sort of emotion that comes from listening to it in a vehicle, whether it's
Yeah.
by yourself or with your family or whatnot. Like I'm sure there's multiple songs that you can picture as a kid riding down in the passenger seat with your dad and
Oh
just
yeah.
jamming, and you're like, oh yeah, dude, this is the life, this is the life. And not a lot of people know this, but like I originally started in computer science. Like I'm a huge computer guy. I really love tech, I love
Mm.
software, I love programming. And I think when I was presented the opportunity back in 2012 to get into this, I was like, yeah, this is like really up my alley. And like everybody that sold car audio or had car audio or installed car audio was so cool. And I
Mm.
was like, oh yeah, like this is exactly where I want to be. And even still to this day, I still look at some of the guys that in our industry that are in Canada, in the United States, that we've met, some of the coolest down to earth dudes I've ever met.
Yeah, man,
And
for sure.
e- even like disregarding car audio, guys that do like custom vehicle upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
wheels, lifts, tires,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, one stop shops, like all that type of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are the kind of guys that I really got along with. I mean, when we first met, it was instant. It
Yeah,
was
dude.
it was car audio true love at first sight, right there, brother. I mean, we started talking, and the moment I talked to you, I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, how long have you been doing this?" And you told me, I was like, "Oh my god, man!"
Yeah.
I was like, "I wish I was at your point when I started doing this, because like
Mm.
at that point, it was like you say, 23. I mean, I was
Yeah.
I was 11, 12 years into it, and I was still like overwhelmed with how much knowledge that I've taken in over the years, because it has changed so much from
Mm-hmm.
like deck integration and basic deck and four channel mono sub, whatever, all
Mm-hmm.
that basic stuff, and now we're being faced with like all these challenges that are in new vehicles that are kind of like, okay, how do we deal with
Yeah,
this?
dude.
There's no documentation for it. Sometimes you get a vehicle that nobody has ever worked on,
Yep.
like that Nautilus that we did.
Yep.
We worked on a brand new Nautilus that had 17 speakers in it, and as far as we know, we were one of the first shops in North America to do this vehicle. And it featured active noise canceling and
Yep.
fake exhaust noise, or whatever you want to call it, through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
system. And you know thankfully that we have the tools and the brains to be able to sit down and
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, this is how these systems work, and this is how we work it out. So I mean, like, for me, it's always been a music thing. Like, I work with a lot of guys in town here that do music. Some of my best friends play in bands, and I always love live music, recorded music. I consider myself an audiophile. I got a stereo in every room in my house, every vehicle.
Yeah, of
First thing I
course.
did for my fiance was, hey, you know what? Let's get some stuffs in your vehicle. And man, shit, I was
Got-
probably with her for like 6 months, and I'm already throwing bass in their SUV, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we both come from that similar, just how we grew up and
Yeah.
how it affected us. It's a different type of thing, and
Yeah.
I really wish I could explain it.
No,
I
it's
can't. It's
exactly.
an itch.
It's that exactly. It's that itch. It's that emotional thing, where you get into the vehicle and it just takes you kind of to a different place sometimes, right? It really
Yeah.
does. It can. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. No, that's cool, man.
I wish I had a longer drive to work, because unfortunately the shop's about 2 to 5 minutes away. So even with a hi-fi system in there,
Yeah.
sometimes I find myself just going on drives by myself, just listening to the music. Just let's get into it, and listening to certain tracks, like, because me and you were big into DSP.
Hmm.
Those that are listening, DSP, digital signal processing. Uh, we like to tailor our systems, and we'll get into that at a later point. But
Yeah, yeah,
we're
of
always
course.
looking for ways to improve our system. We might hear a system and we're like, oh damn, and then we
Yeah.
do another vehicle and we hear something different. We're like,
Oh, damn.
how do we get that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so I think that was a big thing on influencing me, and even just the people I met over the years. Like I said,
Hmm.
I mean, I had so many great mentors. Lyle, Lyle Thiessen. He was one of the first ones that actually taught me car audio.
Hmm.
When I first got into it, and everyone was like, you're not gonna last, you're not gonna do this, and you're never gonna understand it. It's way too complicated. I probably spent 2 to 3 nights that first week, like straight after getting home from work, just reading the Wikipedia on everything. Like, I kid you not, I went back in knowing the most redundant information to this industry, and
Hmm.
they called it a Corbin fact, because
A
it was
Corbin
useless
fact.
information and nobody ever needed it. And now here I am putting that into play, and Rob, same idea. One of the other techs I worked with, I've worked with some techs that have taught me what not to do.
Hmm.
Kyle Kurtz, also another tech, he taught me fabrication. Been a lot of guys that have really influenced me throughout the industry. I mean, even guys that I don't work with. There's
Hmm.
guys in shops in Vancouver Island. Like I said, I'm from there, and Mitchell Gorgachuk from Next Level Audio.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he's a
he
beast.
he Oh, he's a beast, dude. And anytime I chat with him, I feel so connected with him. And I've known him for years. I've had multiple meetups with him. Like he's worked on my truck with me. We've done things. It's
Nice.
all how we get together. And that's kind of what I love about this industry is, yeah, it's locked down and there's not all this information available, but
Mm.
we're all willing to work together
Yeah, for
and
sure.
be
Well,
better.
it's funny. Yeah, exactly. We're all it's changed in that regard from what I've heard because just chatting with Sean, and this was even years ago. I chatted with Sean because talking about all these weird little groups I'm in on Facebook, right? The deadening, where are all the mics,
Strictly sound
Educar,
quality.
strictly sound quality, yeah, all this stuff. And
Yeah.
the amount of information that you can find and that people are willing to give if you can have that contact. I was going to kind of mention that earlier when you're talking about the Lincoln, like having
Yeah.
that contact, right? Like at Ford for you to be able to get
Yeah,
the
my buddy that
schematic,
works
your
there.
buddy there. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
having
it's not on
contacts,
Protoman.
no, exactly. So having these contacts within kind of adjacent to the industry. I mean, it's they're car guys, right? They know these
Yeah,
cars. They may not know what you're trying to do with it, or maybe even necessarily approve, but who
but they
cares?
know the infrastructure of
Exactly,
it.
they know the infrastructure
Yeah.
totally. So yeah, so I mean, that didn't exist in
No,
2005, right?
you'd have to post on like a
Yeah,
DIY mobile forum back in
yeah,
like 2005 and
yeah,
wait how many days to get a
yeah.
reply back, and you don't even know who you're talking to.
You get your install guides and your wiring guides like faxed in from Directed or
Dude,
whatever it was.
right? Des
Yeah,
was telling me about that. My main tech, he was telling me about how they used to do that,
yeah,
and like,
dude.
man, that is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
and jumping back to how you said how things have changed, like car
Yeah,
starters, like how
yeah,
scary certain vehicles used to be, and now how it's so simplified for us. I shouldn't say simplified, but there's so much more information readily available
yeah.
for us, like now, and now
So
we can get that.
it's complex in its simplicity for a remote start in a modern vehicle nowadays
Yeah.
because a lot of this data communication, right? You got to be able to know how to troubleshoot it, right? So it's
Oh yeah.
it's one of those weird things where you can't just, meter this connection and then figure it out from there because
Not on
now we've
campus,
got
no.
not on campus. Yeah, you can't
No.
do any of that. I mean,
Or
you
FL
know,
can or
yeah,
whatever else
yeah,
you're getting. Like,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, just the leaps and bounds of technology even over the last decade, man. It's pretty crazy. Even what I've seen over the last 6 years. Now, like again, the shop I'm at is uh how do I want to put this? We're we weren't on like the bleeding edge like 6 years ago. Like, 6 years ago
yeah,
shops were um
either
definitely
dying or
doing.
succeeding.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
Yeah.
it didn't take long for me to see that, just before we started looking more heavily into OEM integration because I was seeing all of this and I'm like, dude, we need to have, if we don't do this, like this is only going to get worse, right? Like in
Yeah.
2 3 years, like we won't be able to do a basic audio system without having these tools, without having the training and having the right like products, right?
Right. And it
So
wasn't like that years ago. It was
no,
literally just
no, you can't
pull it out,
slam.
pop it in,
Yeah,
get
you
it
can't
in,
slam
done.
shit at just slam shit out, dude. Like it's not that's not how it works anymore, right?
Nope.
I mean, you'll still get your older vehicles, which you can, right? But
Well, I
yeah,
mean, even some of them nowadays too, because they've discontinued
mm,
a lot of parts because
yeah, true.
technology's futures. Like, I mean, you,
Mm-hmm.
you look at a Lincoln Navigator, a 2004 Lincoln Navigator, or 2005, sorry, with the THX system.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a full. It's a bypass now, and
Yeah.
there used to be like an amplifier integration module, but because those vehicles are so
Mm-hmm.
seldom and far few in between,
Mm-hmm.
they don't make these modules anymore. So now it's
No,
like even shops that try to integrate towards that, like they don't know about, integrating with LOCs or
yeah,
whatever. They're just looking for parts that plug
don't
in and play. And
yeah,
like it's
and
it's
it doesn't
not plug in
exist.
and play,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
my least favorite word. I'm gonna
Least
start that
favorite
off
word.
at season one, episode one. Plug and play is the biggest piss off in my vocabulary. When people say that, I instantly get triggered. And anybody that has dealt with me knows that because I
Trigger
instantly tell
alert.
them that literally that is not a word that I use because there's
Yeah,
not, even if it says it on the box, there is so
yeah.
much
Screw that.
more entailed with that. It does not happen. Oh, but it's just plug and play. It's a piece of piss.
Yeah.
No, no, it is not. And if it is why are you not doing it? You
Yeah,
came to me for a reason.
that's my favorite client ever.
Oh
Yeah.
man. I get it all
Just
the
plug it
time, you
in.
know. I mean, remote starters are just plug in now. You just plug in and off you go, right? It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, no, if they were, I mean, we would be doing even more than we already do a day. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. No, that's
oh,
no,
yes,
it's
that's a good one.
it is a good one. You get that phone call like 3 or 4 times a day, man. That's just how it
All the
goes.
time.
Just plug it
I've
in.
got this hooked up. Everything's right, but it doesn't work.
Everything's that's everything's right, but it doesn't
Everything's
work.
right, but it doesn't work. Okay, well, we're gonna start off with that last one there.
That's a
It
double
doesn't
negative, brother.
work. Yeah, exactly. So something isn't right. Okay,
Yeah,
great. Now I gotta go in there and find. And 90% of the time, it's the worst. You're like, oh
for
my
sure.
God, like I'm preparing for the worst. And sometimes I get some that are like, okay, cool, I can deal with this. And sometimes you get them and you're like, ah,
Yeah.
no. And like, especially with how online is growing so big, you know, we've got Amazon and
Mm,
Temu and whatever, all these other Alibaba, all these companies that are selling this gear that is advertised as once again plug and play, and it's not, or it doesn't exceed the customer's
yeah, dude.
expectations, and you know, cheaper isn't always better, but sometimes, you know, you can get away with having value products. Stand behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It
agree
doesn't
with you
always
there.
have to be high end, but I mean, sometimes it's if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. If you call a shop and they're like, "Yeah, it's going to take us 5 hours to do this," but all of a sudden you see something online that's like, "Oh yeah, you're going to get this done in 15 minutes." It's like, dude,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no, please do not present that to me.
That's it's really funny you mention it that way. Um, I did a remote starter in a 15 Porsche Cayenne today,
Oh, nice.
and it was using the new
I
DCX,
gotta
and yeah, I did
or
the
first tech or whatever.
yeah, I did the DCX, and we got the harness, and there's still a couple wires you have to solder and chase, right?
Hard lights
But
and probably ignition as well too.
no, no, actually, all of that was done as part of the harness. I mean, the harness is expensive. They're doing everything at the BCM, right?
Does
But
that includes the electronic ignition integration
yeah, it's all just done at the
on the mo-
BCM. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Haven't done one
So
yet actually.
no, yeah, it's apparently this harness and firmware came out like a couple months ago, I guess. And even when I
Yeah.
called iData, because I talked to First Tech first, and the guy was like, "None of us have done this." And then I talked to iData because I was having a couple of issues. One I was able to figure out myself. The other one was just a weird one. But before I segue into that, the guy who brought it to me bought his own remote starter from 12 Volt Solutions from the US. You seen those
Oh yeah.
guys? They do the
Yeah.
plug and
Yeah.
play Porsche remote starts, Lambo remote starts,
Yeah.
15-minute installation, 20-minute
Oh yeah.
installation, blah, blah, blah.
Just call us. We'll help you walk you through it.
This dude couldn't make it work. Couldn't make it work. He bought his money or bought his money. He bought the
Bought
starter,
his money.
spent all his money. I wish I could buy money. Fuck. He bought the starter, spent all this money. I mean, because it's like 700 US, and then you got to get it here,
Yeah.
right? He's
So it's $1,500
had to sacrifice a
Canadian.
key. Yeah, had to sacrifice a key, right?
2 grand.
Yeah, basically, right? And still had to solder like cans, foot brake, whatever, like in the passenger kick. So yeah, driver side, passenger kick. Could not figure it out. And, luckily he was able to get his money back from these guys because they were trying to help him. They were trying to do it, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's good.
I guess the 12 volt solutions things is like a rebadged DB2 or DB3 or D-ball
DBL.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
DBL.
then, obviously they got their own key wrap and their own harness they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just couldn't make it work. And I mean, 15-minute install, dude. For where the iData installation is different than theirs, like the 12 volt solution, the DBL solution, but still because it's a Porsche, the way they're built, the way things are just are underneath, right? The
Yeah, it's
BC
an
the,
absolute nightmare.
the BCM's just in a weird spot, and for the cans, they're not. It says above driver kick. Basically, it was above the frickin' windshield defrost vent So I mean, that's I guess
Well,
above the
and I
driver kick, but
well, and I mean a guy that's working on anywhere from a $40,000 vehicle plus
mm-hmm,
working on advanced data systems like this to
mm-hmm,
to spend $2,000 and potentially
mm-hmm,
cause more issues to his vehicle.
mm-hmm,
Like that's why dealers like us exist. I mean, we look into these solutions. We understand what is out there, and if
mm-hmm,
it's a vehicle that it's like, yeah, okay, they say they can do this. Sorry, you can't. Like I've had
mm-hmm,
people come to me with the exact same products, and it's like for just trying to draw an example, but like
mm-hmm,
maybe before we started doing like Land Rovers
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Jaguars and stuff like that. Like people would come with us with these solutions that are plug in, whatever, same idea, and could never get them to work. They're spending all this time, they spent all this money,
Mm-hmm.
and we come to look into it. It's like, okay, this isn't the right module because Land Rovers are a nightmare for any sort of integration because there's way too many models of them, way too many. Nobody knows what they drive. Nobody knows what they. So they always order the wrong stuff. So either it's pre-programmed wrong, or the
Right.
diagrams don't match up
Right.
because the year is incorrect because it's a half year, or it's maybe the year before, or whatever the case. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is the situation, and you know, some of them are fine with it, but it's like, oh wow, now we got to dump even more money than what we've already dumped. And it's a good thing a lot of these companies are decent at giving money back, like these Amazon companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With all
Don't
these
ask a lot of
radios and
questions.
things.
Just send it back.
Yeah, they just send it back, which is good
Yeah.
because I mean, like, and I'm sure you guys are on the same page as us. I mean, we don't want to install something for somebody and then them have constant issues,
Mm-hmm.
and we basically just wipe our hands and say, dude, there's nothing we can do. Like, I don't
No.
want to take someone's money and say you're on your own after, you know,
Correct.
I've
Yeah.
put it in and now they're having all these issues. It's like, no, that's not
Yeah.
the type of business that we want to do. And, if that's the type of
Yeah.
shop you're dealing with, you need to find a new shop because
Exactly.
that's just not a thing in 2025
No,
anymore.
man. I totally agree. I'm getting way more comfortable saying no to people
You
for
have to
things
be.
like that. Yeah, because like you said, I don't want to be the shop that, like you said, you slap it in there, you wipe your hands and say good luck. Like
Yeah.
that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. I want to be able to be there to help you because I understand the stuff that we put in your vehicle, but
Every day.
I don't understand that the stuff that you bring to me, right? Like I
No.
don't.
We
So
specialize in areas with products
yeah,
that we know that work,
correct.
and it's people that get into that,
Yeah,
they get a bad taste in their mouth,
that's
and
right.
now they don't ever want to do anything again to their
Mm-hmm.
vehicle because they did this and X
Mm-hmm.
shop did this and they wouldn't help them. And it's like,
That's right.
that is such a tough subject. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in today's digital age, there's so much information on the internet that is
Yep.
so incredibly wrong. It baffles me
We'll
all
get
the
into
time.
that one day. We might be able to get some
Yeah.
examples and get into that. It's always a good one.
I don't know. There's a lot, man. That
I know.
that might have to be an
A
extended special for one of
4 hour
those
episode,
ones. Yeah.
parts 1 through 20.
It's
Um,
basically just me ranting about things that don't work online. Awesome.
well, before we get too far into that, because I don't want it to be too boring with car starters,
Yeah, car starters are boring. Let's be honest.
yeah exactly. Let's chat
No,
about
it's winter.
let's chat about your area with car audio. What's it like for you? Because we are similar demographic, but
Yeah.
I still think we're quite different. But so I want to hear yours
Oh man, I really wish I could put a needle on that
on something
on that
specific.
exact pinpoint because
Yeah, yeah,
it seems like it's all over the place. I
mm-hmm,
mean, we deal with a lot of trucks, obviously.
mm-hmm,
I'm sure you guys do too, just
for
because
sure.
we both live in oil country, so you're getting your generic GM, Dodge, Fords, you're getting the F-150s, F-350s, Ram
F-150.
three quarters, yeah,
Yep.
F-150, Silverado, whatever, 1500, half ton, three-quarter tons, all the same thing. We do a decent amount of SUVs as well too.
Mm-hmm,
But I find like a lot of it is basic base package upgrades. People are happy with the factory system until they're shown what a factory system can be improved to
mm-hmm,
and what the upgrades are capable to of. I know both of us have been very big on using OEM integration skills and using our signal processors and
Mm-hmm.
amplifying factory speakers. And we've had great luck with that.
Yes,
And
sir.
it blows my mind every time. I mean, I know you've got a hi-fi system in your Mercedes. I've got one in my GM. We've got a fantastic system all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do these vehicles and I am shocked
Yeah.
with the outcomes, with
Yeah.
how just adding an amplifier, like the last time we chatted about the Fords doing,
Yeah.
instead of running it fully active
Yeah.
and keeping those tweeters and the front doors linked, and then integrating with
Yeah,
like an
man.
up 6 DSP by match.
Yeah.
And wow, the last one we did, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was, it saved the customer X amount of dollars on labor by not
Mm-hmm.
having to run that extra set of wire up front.
Yeah.
And it turned out fantastic.
And the
Even
extra amp
a
channels
single 10.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
a single
exactly.
10 ran off that all single amp solution.
Yep.
We're getting great volume from it, super easy upgrades, doesn't cost the customer a hell of a lot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the upgrade that they're looking for. So,
Yep.
like people can bring us a vehicle that doesn't necessarily have that premium system, and
Correct.
for what they would have financed, if not less, we can create them a system that is better. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for perfect example, creativity outside the box. Look at this Camaro that we're doing today. When I tell you, hey, for my next trick, watch me run 7 speakers off a 4-channel amplifier. You're like, wait, what?
Well, I
And
didn't
I'm
look at the
like,
picture for your routing, and then I looked at the routing after. I was like, "Oh, passive, got it. Mono,
right?
rear, got it."
But it
Yeah.
just shows how much flexibility you have.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always necessarily need to be the
Mm-hmm.
most expensive amplifier. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a newer Lexus that we're doing fairly soon here, and we're putting another V18 in it. Seen
Mm-hmm.
our last post with Lincoln,
Yeah.
knows he has a ton of speakers,
Yeah.
and he trusts us. He's had work done with us, and yeah. So I mean, like, we're a reputable shop with that. I mean, like I said, I've been in the industry for a very long time,
Yeah.
and I've been to a ton of trainings, and we have the the knowledge to integrate towards these. And if we do get into these hiccups, we have the people that can help us get around these. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I mean, for us,
Lots of resources.
it's all over the place. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for it. If I could tell you, as for anyone listening that owns a shop, if I could tell you what to stock all the time, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, for
There
sure.
is no rhyme or reason behind it. There'll be times where I don't stock a certain product, and
Mm-hmm.
I might sell 5 of them in the same week, and now I
Yep.
have to order them.
Yep.
And then I'll order X amount more just to have them on stock. And
And
then
then
they sit on the shelf. And
yeah,
I'm like,
they get a
how
birthday or
does this
something.
make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes zero sense. No, I've totally had those moments where literally like the week before I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should order that to have it in stock." And then I'm like, "Ah, you know what? Fuck it. It's like not the season or blah blah blah." Then some dude comes in and is like, "Hey, I'm looking for this." Ah, fuck.
And then the next dude that comes in wants it as well too. And you're like,
Exactly.
what is going on? How do I make sense of this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the secret question and secret recipe to everything in business. I mean, obviously demographics change, and
Yeah.
we deal with, like, as far as age group. Once again, we're all over the place. I mean, it's sometimes it's an 18-year-old kid that just got his first truck.
Hmm.
He comes to me with an OBS Chevy, and I'm like, oh, dude, you came to the right guy. Like, I love these trucks. I've had how many of these trucks, and they're my favorite. Like, let me set you up with the system, and then next thing you know, we're not even talking about audio. We're talking about our trucks, and I take him out back and I show him mine. He's like, oh, this
Geeking.
is so sweet. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
geeking out. Both of us are just having a good time. Like, that's one thing I love about this industry is we've created a career over something that we have turned into a hobby. Like, we enjoy learning about this stuff. Like, when we go to trainings, we're full force looking, we're learning, we're
100%.
taking all this information in, and we're not leaving anything behind. I mean, there's a lot that comes to it. I mean,
Of
it
course.
it, it yeah. You got guys like Ray West that are absolute data masters. They know the
Absolutely.
ins and the outs of every vehicle infrastructure, and I'm gonna be that guy to say I'm not that guy. Do I
Yeah.
have the resources to find out what you need done and what needs to be fixed? Absolutely, but I don't know them off the top of my head like that. I know a lot of things off the top of my head. I mean, they literally call me a moving computer at the shop because I know parts and I don't need to look them up when certain vehicles come in. They're like,
Yep.
hey, what do we need for this? And I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. They're like, I don't know how you do that. The customer's instantly like, oh yeah, this guy knows what's up. This is the guy I want to be with. And I mean, it's because I care. And that's, I think, the difference between a lot of the shops, like you mentioned earlier, that we're going down is if you don't have guys that care and you don't have owners that care, you are
Hmm.
already done. The chain has started to fall down the line and nobody cares.
For sure.
So now, how are you supposed to increase business or increase revenue or whatever or do well? And I mean, sorry for folks that don't do this as a living. I mean, listeners or whatnot, everyone needs to make money. It's all a business sense. It's at the end of the day, what we love to do is create good sounding stereos. And I know Dalen can say the exact same thing. Our favorite thing is when customers pick their vehicles up
Oh yeah,
after
dude.
we have done our magic.
Yeah.
There is nothing like it. The words that have been spoken to me after a guy brings me his brand new truck off the lot, and we do an OEM DSP system with it at a sub, and he's like, "How? These are my same speakers that I had in here before."
Yep.
Yes,
I've had so many
Mr.
conversations
Customer.
like that. Yep. Yes. Yes, Mr.
Dude, I've had
Customer.
I've had I've had old men cry because of the stereos they're listening to
Name
now
drop. Name
because they
drop.
can
I'm gonna find
actually
them.
we'll do that maybe for a
Exposed.
customer of the week there. We'll bring a couple of them in for sure. I know there's guys that would love to be mentioned of it because they're all for it, and we've
Yeah.
done some pretty big builds. I mean, we're not these some of these crazy ass shops that you see online.
No.
We're not building these, we're not MTI, but you know what? I
Well,
mean, we've
that's
got the resources to get MTI in,
yeah.
and we can build stuff that looks fantastic as well too, and sounds great as well. And we're not charging you 100 grand. People need to realize that a lot of the stuff that you see online sometimes, eh, it's,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
pretty expensive, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I saw
It
a
goes crazy.
yeah, I saw that that Brax build in that F250, the one with
Duff.
the it's just Brax everything, all the
It's
light up speaker grills. Like
it's
that's
100
just
grand USD. It's
yeah.
100 grand USD.
Yeah, I saw 120 USD. That's what I saw.
I believe it.
Yeah, 120 USD for just the upgrades. The truck
Yep.
itself was 70 grand because it wasn't even like a it was like just a base model F250. It's probably a
And then you
gasser.
talk about lifts,
Yeah,
you talk
well,
about
yeah,
wheels, you talk
yeah,
about tires, you
yeah,
talk about
exactly.
performance upgrade. You're
But
you're
just the
300K
audio,
plus.
yeah, just the audio in that was 120. I mean, of course, it was flashy, rear seat delete, had all the Brax amps basically built as like the seat bottom, and then the four
Oh,
10-inch Brax subs facing back with all the acrylic windows.
oh,
Yeah,
those founders editions,
yeah,
man.
dude, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, like our demographic is same but different, like you and I. Like I said, it's a good smattering of kind of everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, lately it's a little different because remote start season, dead of winter, we're
dude, we're still
kicking
doing
that into.
so many stereos. I got
Yeah,
a
I know.
boat coming in next week, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I
That's
love that.
wild. It is November 14th
Yep,
right now,
yep,
and November 16th, 17th, and 18th we're working on a massive boat system, and it's a
yeah.
riverboat. Like
I
what?
mean, you could just tow it there, tow it back. I mean, easy peasy,
Dude,
right? Get it in the bay.
I mean, I
Doesn't matter.
parked my truck last year
Yep,
in October. I think I was looking at my pictures. I parked it October 21st or something like that.
yep,
And it's the 14th, and I'm still driving it right now.
yeah, whatever.
So, I mean, the weather dictates a lot of things for us. I'm
Yeah,
sure
of
it's the
course.
exact same for you. Like, do you guys even have snow right now?
Yeah, we got snow that stuck last night. Last night. It's
Yeah,
stuck. It's here to stay.
ours melted this morning after it
Nice.
snowed last night.
Yeah. No, it's definitely here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I mean, well, it could maybe. I don't know. I think it's here to stay. It has that feeling. You know what I mean? It has that it's here to stay feeling. So, I think
When you see,
I
we
think
don't
that's it.
have what like a lot of these bigger cities have with that. Like you look at Toronto and
Hmm.
Ontario, and even some guys in Vancouver and BC. I mean,
Hmm.
they're still not going to have winter for how long? So I mean, like
Yeah.
we're piling car starters on top of stereos,
Yeah.
and it's like I said, I wish I had the recipe for what to what to stock because I'd
Yeah.
be a millionaire, bro.
No, we don't really stock much of anything. I mean, depending on the
Well, we're so
season,
far
right?
out. We're the same way, right? I
Correct.
mean, if
Yeah.
we're doing the install, like we're
In a
ordering it
week.
in. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. 2 weeks, whatever the case might be. If guys want those specialty boxes like MTI does, I mean, we're an MTI dealer, so I mean, we
Hmm.
can get them in. And okay, cool. Where we're booking out right now, sweet. Give us a little bit of lead time, get it in, we'll do it. And I mean,
Hmm.
gosh, we can build those types of boxes, but A, it adds more money to the customer,
Yep.
and B, it's really hard to find that time to do it during this type of season. And a
Yeah.
lot of guys, they get their time off in like end of November,
Hmm.
December, or whatever, the holiday seasons, and it's like, dude, that's right when I'm like slammed out.
Yep.
I'm not getting you in. It's not happening. Like, cool, you want to book in March? No. Okay, sweet. Well, let's get this done, and let's do it now. Let's save you a little bit of cash, and let's get you a cool box, and let's get you that system that you want.
Yeah. I find most people going back to like the upgrades on how that truck is, it's 120 grand. Most people don't realize what it takes to build something like that. Like you saw the box Cole built for our F-150,
For
right?
Sean's, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for Sean's F-150. Like that was an MTI level,
Sick
like
box.
stage 4 enclosure, right? Or maybe even stage 5, whatever they want to call it,
It's a
right?
$5,000 box, man. All day
Yeah,
long.
exactly.
All
And
day long.
they're like, "Oh, well, like this one's built on MTI and it's like, 2,500
Three
bucks." I'm like,
grand.
"Yeah, like,
Yeah.
bro, it's yeah, well, one, it's American. So by the time you get it here and you ship it here and blah blah blah, like that's going to change, right? Especially if you buy it
Yep.
yourself. But I mean, their process that they
Oh,
have to
dude.
build it, like they're more of a, cuz you can sell it for cheaper if you have a cheap way of production, right? So like they've
They got
got
a
a
hundred
way
thousand
of
square foot
production.
warehouse, man, and they got
Exactly.
5 levels of where that stuff
Exactly.
goes. They're designed to do that type of
Exactly.
stuff, and
Yeah,
that's
they
where
got an
we all
assembly
want to
line.
be.
Yeah. I would love to be knocking out these boxes
For
and
sure.
getting everybody in, and yeah, man, I'd love for you to have this box that cost us 5 grand to build. I'd love for you to have that for 2,500 bucks or 3 grand or whatever. I,
But
I,
then
I would
realistically, how,
realistically,
how, how are people going to be able to? Like, are you going to be able to leave your truck with me for a week?
yeah, exactly.
No, because you
No,
use it for work. Let's
exactly.
get this done in a day.
Yeah.
Get you the system you want,
Yeah.
and you're probably paying a little bit less in reality
Yeah.
to what you're losing and everything. And I mean, the outcome is the exact same.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'd say, as far as our demographic goes, yeah, we're very similar on that end. Because yeah,
yeah, I believe we are. And for us, I think, well, Grand Prairie population wise, like you guys are just booming right now. You're
dude, I think we're like 75,000, but we've got like
you got
the
pull though.
surrounding area,
You
man.
got
We've got
pull.
Fort St. John, we got Peace River, we've
Yep.
got all those areas. So I mean, like, technically, if you want to think of that,
Yeah.
I mean, geez, we might be 150, 200, because Dawson Creek as well. Like,
Hmm.
I get customers from BC, Chetwynd, like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we're
You're
not just Grand Prairie. Like, even the
exactly.
home install side of things, like we're doing. Like, I just did a system in Hudson Hope
Mm,
for the curling company.
yeah.
They're the curling club. Like,
Nice.
literally just did the audio out there. And
Nice.
that's how far away, you know what I mean? Like, they're
For
reaching out
sure.
to us though. So it's like, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So like, realistically, you're right. Like, how big is actually our demographic?
Yeah, your pull is pretty wide. Like for us, like we don't have really much of like in terms of larger communities close to us.
We got Red Earth. No.
Red, you mean Redwater?
Any Alberta? Well, I guess, yeah. Well, Redwater, but isn't Red Earth like right around there? Any
I'm
Alberta folks
I'm
around
gonna
there? They
I'm gonna
know.
be honest with you. I'm an Alberta boy. I don't think I've ever fucking heard of Red Earth. What?
What? Yeah, dude.
I don't think I
It's
have. Is it like one of those blink and you miss it places like Westlock?
yeah, yeah.
Is
It
it?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Earth Creek. It's in northern Alberta.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think. Well, see, here's the thing. I haven't been really far your way. Okay, yeah. So see, that's north of Slave Lake. I haven't been north. I've never even been to Grand Prairie, dude. So the furthest
You
I've
have been
been
somewhere.
is just on the far western end of Slave Lake, because that's
Yeah.
where we go for our lake lot parties for the shop. So that's the furthest
That's
I've been
fair.
in that area. But Yeah, like
Like,
for communities for us, we don't have a ton of pull, so we're relying on like the local, people traveling in from Edmonton. I have some clients in Edmonton, but really nobody further than that, as far
well,
as
and I
I'm
mean, really,
aware.
it's
I mean,
for
I have
what
a
you
couple
guys do.
guys
Like, I'd
travel
say
to and
me and
from
you,
BC,
like,
right?
our
But
shops are one of the few that actually can do what we say we do. You know what I mean? Like, we don't
sure,
overpromise and underdeliver. We underpromise and overdeliver.
that's what I try to do. That's the goal.
I think it's the easiest way to do it. I mean, there's no point in like lying to somebody and saying like,
No,
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this," and then like they pick it up and they're like, "What the hell is this?
yeah.
Like, this is not a thing."
Well, I think there,
But
there there's a lot of shops that have transitioned from that box store sentiment to becoming a solutions based store. You know what I mean? Like they're not trying to sell as
well,
much over the counter boxes and stuff. Like that's great if
there's
you have
still a
the
lot of them. There's
No,
still a
no,
lot
I
of them,
know. But
and I
that
don't know how they're a thing.
and that's
I
great
really
if you
don't.
have the
But I guess a
traffic.
lot of
We don't
well,
have the
and a lot of
traffic.
them still have good technicians. I mean, you know
Sure.
my
Yeah.
background. You know
Mhm.
where I'm from. I mean, there's
Yeah,
there's
your Visions days.
few and far between. There's a few guys that are still extremely great. Don't get me wrong. I
Mhm.
mean, but then they're also relied on the guys on their floor that aren't trained. And
Yeah.
not only is it important is
Yep.
having a trained technician
You got to
important,
have a sales
having
guy.
a sales guy that knows what
Yeah,
he's talking about is the
exactly.
biggest thing because then you get animosity between the two.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than having a customer, hear that type of interaction or feel that interaction or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever might happen. It's like, oh yeah, but you should have done this and you should have done this. It's like, no, you work together with your tech and you create a good lifestyle and a good family because that is what work is. We spend all of our time there and we need to make sure we're doing the right things because, if I'm giving you something and you got to put it in and it's going to look like crap and
Yep.
you're going to look like the asshole and I'm going to look like the hero. How is that fair? It's
Exactly.
just not. It's got to be on both ends, It's like a teeter-totter. You got to balance that motherfucker out. It's got to
Sure,
be
man.
even on in the middle.
I wonder how many like clients that people have had long term had one interaction with a sales guy and a technician having a blowout, and then they've lost it, like or lost them, but lost the
I can
client.
tell you it's been a few. I can
Yeah,
tell you it's been a few for sure. For
for
sure.
sure.
I'd be lying if I said that's never happened to me. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've
Oh yeah,
I've definitely learned what not to do and like I said, worked with people
yeah.
that
We all make
have taught me
mistakes.
that. So,
Yeah,
yep.
100%. It happens. Yeah, there was a lot when I first started out with me and the gentleman who hired me. Well, not him who hired me, but who got my foot in the door with the shop where we had some. I can't remember if it was ever like. I would never call them blowouts because I don't feel like it was like that, but like
No, I don't think there's
had
ever been
some.
a blowout, but
Yeah.
there's definitely been like
Oh yeah, some extra
maybe not
tone
mis. Yeah, yeah.
in the
I can't.
conversation.
It's been so many. I mean, how
Hmm.
do you keep track of it over all the years? I mean,
Yeah,
I
for
try and
sure.
not look at those losses because Wolf of Wall Street. Don't judge me on my losses. Judge me on my wins
Yeah,
because I have so many. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
exactly.
I don't lose very often, and I love technology, and I don't like being beat by robots. I really don't.
Man, it's
That's
coming.
that's
AI
my
is coming for
that's
our
my
job,
biggest
brother.
thing. Oh, dude, good luck. I really hope it does because I know there are people that are listening to this that use AI for their decisions on picking audio equipment and gear
Oh
and
my God.
you got it
Yeah,
could be it is so far from wrong
yeah.
because it is picking up information that other people
One,
are using and my God, it is just it's disgusting.
it is. So
I'm sorry.
people
Until they
are,
make like robot AI tuning or REW that is going to do it all properly and give you everything that it's going to integrate towards the vehicle properly and give you this perfect curve. Guess what? There's no replacing guys like me or you. It's not happening.
10 years from
We
now,
know too
the
much.
AI robots are going to play this back and they're going to say, haha,
I
gotcha.
bet you it's going to be. I bet you it's going to be built into DSP. I could see
Yeah,
AI DSP coming out soon.
yeah.
Like next 5 years, it'll help us, but it's still not going to be the end all be all. I
No,
bet.
it's not going to be the
I
end
mean,
all be all. It can't. I can't see it because you can't have. There's still subjectivity to it. You know what I mean? For
for
individual
sure, we all have different
peoples,
ears. We
exactly.
can't hear the same.
The baseline rules are the same. Like they,
Although I've had a pretty good track record with the house curve. I don't
yeah,
think I've had,
yeah, and that's
other
and
than
that's
maybe
good.
a little bit more sparkle and a little bit more brilliance in that
Hmm.
high end.
Yeah,
I don't think I've rarely ever had to change from the uh, Audio Tech Fisher slash Harman curve. I don't think
yeah,
there's really ever been
yeah,
variations in between that where it's like, oh, that doesn't sound good.
yeah,
That's not
yeah,
loud
for
enough.
sure.
It's like, okay,
Well, when I was at MasterTech, there was a interesting, albeit dry, presentation from one of the lead engineers of Harman JBL, and basically talking about house curves and how people hear and like what's the general consensus. And we all tend to like the overall um average of like what people think sounds good based on the house curve was
was that
essentially like the Harmon curve, right? Like
was that
that's
the like the not not the original owner, obviously from JBL, but do you know who it was?
buddy,
Was it James?
I can get that information, but it was a really old
Yeah.
gentleman.
Anyways,
I really
I bet you
enjoyed
it was James.
I really enjoyed the presentation. Like I said, it was a bit dry. He was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
it was very interesting. I wanted to before we trail off a little bit too much, going back
Oh,
on
we're gonna
that
trail off.
AI. Oh yeah, going back on that AI recommending product. People are gonna learn
Oh
a
God.
couple things about you and about me, and what brand we really hate. But I thought it was so funny when we funneled into
Does it
Grok
start
one
with an
day.
A?
It does start with an A. Just hold on.
Does it?
What it does? Hold on. Just hold on. We funneled into Grok. What was the best DSP based product?
I swear to
Audio
God, if
Tech
it said audio
Fisher
controlled DMA10, I'm gonna scream.
versus it was Audio Tech Fisher versus everybody else, and they said Audio Control had the leading edge, buddy. The
Oh my God.
DM810. You
Okay,
nailed
so
it.
we're about getting to our closing end here, you guys, but I just want to let you know that I sold the first audio controlled DM810 in Canada, and I have warranted that product 4 times since 2014. Maybe
Uh
2000, yeah, 2014, 2015. They were nice enough to give me the opportunity to warranty that, but
mhm.
I could never, ever be convinced to use one of those ever again. I had a customer, and actually, it was the same customer that I sold it to
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
and he wanted it in another vehicle. And I didn't
Nope.
have the heart to tell him, no, I did it. I did it.
No.
I hated
No.
it, but I wanted to tell him I want to charge you $1,500 right now to tune this thing because it is so bad, man. Like honestly, between like certain older Audison products and audio control. I'm sorry for
Mhm.
name dropping here, folks.
Yeah.
This is completely un un. We're not getting paid for this,
No.
but my God,
Zero payment.
this is a common trend by
Yeah.
multiple people, and I am one of the folks that say, do not bring me one of those. You should not have bought one. If you
Yeah.
got hosed by a sales guy for one, go back to him and ask for your money back because he obviously has a silver tongue and maybe he should talk to me because we should hire him in
Yeah,
the sales
exactly.
team.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
no
I need that guy. I need
doubt.
that guy.
Like, no doubt. But even
Yeah.
then, I don't want that guy because he probably dropped his pants to get it out of the door.
100%. Yeah, my first
I am
DSP
so
product is
mad
audio
that that was a
control.
DMA10
Yeah,
that
dude.
AI said that
Yeah.
to because I knew it was gonna be. I knew
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah, dude.
absolutely knew it.
It was brutal. I just it
Oh
just shows
God.
how wrong it is to say that, on so many levels. We can get into what different things do different days, but yeah,
Yeah,
my
some products.
first
Every product does things great. It's don't get me wrong.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, sorry to
The
cut you off there, Dave.
No, no, you're good. The audio control, I got a D 4.800. That was my first DSP years and years ago, 2018.
I remember
Before
that. I
I,
think you told me about it.
yeah,
That was in your
yeah.
Tahoe, right?
No, my Avalanche,
Or no,
but
Avalanche.
yeah,
Sorry.
my '05 Avalanche, basically. And then that thing shit the bed twice, warranted it twice. The third time I went to warranty it, they were like, "We have a 6 channel coming out. It hasn't been announced. Do you want to wait for that one and we'll upgrade you?" I was like, "Oh,
Nope.
6 channel." No, I did because I was like, well, might as well, right? So now I can do my front active and add the rears in, right? Like at
Oh
the time,
God.
my 4 channel was just running the fronts active. I didn't have rear
Yeah,
fill
yeah.
at all. So, because
I
money,
still don't
right?
have rear fill in my truck. I still don't have rear fill in my truck because I don't care.
My daily
I
tune, I
like
don't
rear
have rear
fill.
fill on.
I like rear fill, but I don't have it on.
Yeah, my daily tune in my car, no rear fill, and then if I want sound effecty whizzy shit, I have the rear fill on. I got the separate
Yeah.
tune for that, but that's not what I drive around listening to with all the time. But anyways, yeah, so I got the I want to say it was the first D6 well, yeah, 6 dot whatever it was, 1200 or something like that. Um just cuz it was the first one like warrant like I got it before like or right around the same time Crutchfield had it. So like I don't want to say the first one sold because it wasn't sold to me. I was just like upgraded. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I messed around with that and I warranted that thing I think 3 times.
I believe it.
Yeah, because I thought there was an issue, warranted it, got the same one back. I was like, oh, okay, this seems okay. Messed around with a front three-way active system. I was like, okay, well, it's so the issue I was having was it just didn't seem to be enough output for like 120 watts a channel,
Hmm.
and then
What you mean?
after
More power, not more
yeah,
better?
yeah, exactly, right? Then, I actually one day I was like, fuck this. Like I'm gonna measure the outputs, so doing like sine wave testing because I was like, man, the rears are always louder. And I measured the first four output channels of the amp. And I think maximum output voltage I was getting was like 12 volt on a 1 kilohertz sine wave. And then on the rear, yeah, AC. Then on the
Like
final
36.
yeah, on the final 5 to 6 channels exactly. It was like almost like it was like 31 or 32 volt out. And I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not retarded.
Yeah.
Like so anyways, I got that warranted and then it was fine. Then I sold it because Audio Tech Fisher.
Hell yeah, dude. All day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
All day
man.
long.
Yeah, well I mean, for me,
I think this is good. I think this was good. I hope you
I
guys
love how
enjoyed our
raw
first
this is gonna
episode.
be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're like I mean, there's a few car audio podcasts out there. People are not just they're 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 just going off a script or whatever. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I think we're both very involved with the industry. We have a
Mhm.
lot to talk about going further, and I really hope our listeners enjoy what we have to talk about because we're gonna make it personable. We're gonna make it
100%.
knowledgeable. We want people to learn and understand whether you're a hobbyist, an industry professional, or whatever the case might be. We want you to learn and we want you to listen. And once again, we are the probably, I think, as far as I know, the first people to do this in Canada specifically.
Yeah,
So for that,
specifically.
that's it's a very proud moment for us. Anybody that's listening, thank you very much. And I know the next few episodes we're gonna dig into some other things, and in the future we're probably gonna have some guest speakers. Don't be
100%.
expected if we have some people that want to talk about other things because I already know I have people that want to talk about other things with us. So I give you a little bit of little taste test there.
Yeah,
So
100%. Before we go, I know there was a thing we talked about, but anything you learned this week? Any troubles, any tribulations you've
you know what,
gotten
man? I
through?
mean, other than doing that Camaro where I came through and it was
Yeah.
hey, how am I gonna run 7 channels off a 4 channel amplifier and a mono, and running the front left passive, front right passive, running the rears in mono rear fill, and then using that extra channel for the center channel, and then obviously the sub amp for the subs. I mean, honestly, haven't had a hell of a lot. The next upcoming episodes, believe me, the Lexus is going to be featured in that. It's a fix from another shop, and we're adding in, and guess what? We're taking out audio control, uh, and we're putting in a V18 Helix amplifier, Helix V18 DSP amplifier,
Oh yeah.
and I'm sure I'm going to learn a little bit more. I mean, off the top of my head right now, I know we're kind of running out of time. I don't want to over exaggerate my or over exuberate myself with time, but I'd say the Camaro is probably the biggest braining I've had to do the last little bit because we're still on
Big brain.
car starter season,
Yep.
and yeah, I really hope everyone here enjoys it. I thank you, Dalen, for your time,
Yeah,
and
man.
I think we've got a great thing going here, and I look forward to what it's going to be in the future. So,
I'm
episode
excited to
one,
get into some
season
weird shit.
one, it's fucking raw. It's fucking raw.
Fucking raw.